What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here, talking today about the PlayStation 5, but this video is going to be very mixed, because half of this news is actually great, because it seems like the price may have leaked, and it's cheaper than I would have thought, but there's also the bad news that apparently Sony is going to have trouble making as many PlayStation 5s as they originally promised. Now, before we get into this very convoluted sandwich of Sony news, here is a no-context photograph of me wearing a bloody suit, standing around with Ronald McDonald. Does this make any sense? Absolutely not, but be sure to like and subscribe. Now, what we're getting into today is a bunch of leaks, and one of the things that's been going around online for the last 24 hours has been lots of speculation as to what we're going to see at Sony's big PlayStation 5 reveal event tomorrow morning. Now, I'm incredibly excited for it, but Sony also released this mysterious new commercial about the age of play, and in it there's a lot of very interesting iconography. Like, here's one that Soldier First Class pointed out. There is a very cool looking airship in the trailer that just happens to perfectly match this official artwork for what is assumed to be Final Fantasy XVI. So it does seem like possibly Final Fantasy XVI could be shown tomorrow, which is completely epic. But then we come to the more interesting news, which is the technical details about the price. Now, this is coming from a Bloomberg report over about the price. PlayStation 5 priced at $449, PS5 Digital Edition below $400. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's actually get into this report here. This is a reprinting of the report because Bloomberg, if you actually want to look at Bloomberg articles, you have to pay a monthly fee. And I'm a broke YouTuber, so I don't have a Bloomberg subscription, but these people were nice enough to reprint the article, and one of the things it talks about is that PS5 prices are expected to be revealed tomorrow at the PlayStation 5 showcase, but a new Bloomberg report suggests that these could be the prices. According to analyst Masahiro Wakasagi, the PS5 price might be as low as $449, while the PS5 Digital Edition might drop below $400. Now, this has been a rumor that's been going around for a couple weeks, is that no matter what, Sony wants to try and be cheaper than the Xbox Series X. And the reason why is because the Xbox Series X is a powerhouse. This system is actually surprisingly powerful. It's definitely going to be the definitive way to try and play like third-party games. It's just got so much freaking juice in there. And the rumor was that PlayStation is trying to undercut them to make sure, hey, if you're going to have more power, we want to have more games and we want to have a better deal for you. So if they manage to undercut them by $50 whole, if this turns out to be true and they actually manage to get it to $449, I mean, it's going to be an absolute game changer. It's going to be really interesting just to see how many consoles sell day one. But speaking of console sales, here's where things actually get bad. Now, brace yourselves. I hate to even talk about this, but a bunch of you have been asking me. PlayStation 5, Sony reportedly cuts launch window production by 4 million units due to chip woes. Now, we're going to read this article, but I want to actually explain something real quick. This is going to be talking a lot about basically shortages. And I talked to some people before this. In this article and in other articles, they're talking about the fact that there are production issues. And apparently what this means is it doesn't mean that the PS5s are like breaking inside the factory. This doesn't mean that the systems itself aren't working. Apparently a lot of these leaks are talking about the fact that literally physically assembling these super technical details is just more time consuming than possible. It's just the fact that literally gluing these systems together and bolting them all into one big chunk to sell on store shelves is extremely time consuming, and because of the pandemic, people aren't exactly able to put thousands or tens of thousands of employees into factories to piece them together. But now that we have that out of the way, let's read the actual wording. Sony has reportedly cut its estimated PlayStation 5 production for its fiscal year by 4 million units, bringing the new total to around 11 million, following production issues with its custom chip design for the new console. Now, something else is, keep in mind this is actually down because originally they were saying that they were trying to have about 15 million consoles. 15 million to me seemed very right because I mean, obviously, I think this is going to be a very big console launch. The PlayStation 4, when this came out, sold about 1 million units in the first month. So I think that they were trying to have too many available just in case this ends up selling like 2 million or 3 million day one or whatever. They want to make sure that they're ready so that they can have enough stock for, Christmas at the very least. As reported by Bloomberg, Sony has boosted orders with suppliers in anticipation of heightened demand for gaming in the holiday season and beyond, as people spend more time inside, obviously, yep. However, these manufacturing issues are causing production yields as low as 50% for its system on chip, which has hindered its ability to produce as many PlayStation 5s as planned. Oh my gosh, but it actually manages to get worse. Bloomberg sources did mention that yields have been gradually improving, but they've been yet to reach at stable levels. So all of this is bad because what it really means is that this is production all the way through 2021, early 2021. So it means that until about March, I think we can expect stores to be sold out like crazy. Now, I'm an old man. I actually remember very clearly the crazy Wii shortages we had years ago. Now, a lot of people, when they talk like very fondly of like the 7th generation, a lot of people talk about, the Xbox 360, the lines for the Xbox 360. But what people don't talk about is that there were like no Nintendo Wiis for that first 6 months. Every single one of them was just sold out. I still have such fond memories of actually going into a GameStop, looking at the wall of games like Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, and being like, yeah, I'm going to buy that. Walking up to the counter, and then before I could even ask a question, they would just straight up say, sorry kid, we're still sold out. That is how few Nintendo Wiis there were. And I'm a little bit nervous that we could see this replicated with the PlayStation 5 generation. So I've been saying this for a while now, but I truly believe that this next generation of consoles is probably going to be the biggest one ever, and I'm being dead serious. And the main reason I believe this is because gaming just continues to get more mainstream. As a market, they've actually started to make like tens of billions of dollars of net profit every single year. Everybody's playing video games, even if it is a casual gamer who just logs into Madden or, plays a little bit of Call of Duty on the weekends. Everybody now is a gamer. It's no longer this niche hobby, and I think the PlayStation 5 is really going to pierce its way into being part of the zeitgeist. People now are going to be lining up to purchase this and be part of a movement. I also think that part of this is, this is my own conspiracy theory, as superheroes are now becoming more popular, and now that people are, being nerdy is being cool, I think that people are now trying to play games like Marvel's Avengers, because even though this game sucks, it's still part of the mainstream. People still want to try and line up and play Spider-Man on PS4. That's why it sold over 10 million units so lightning fast. As gaming becomes bigger, it seems like everybody is trying to keep up, and I am a little bit scared of PS5 shortages in the short term. I want to give you guys some advice. If you are super serious about the PlayStation 5 and you want to make sure you have one in 2020, try and think outside the box when it comes to pre-orders. A lot of times stores like maybe not GameStop because they might close down before the PS5 even comes out, but places like, a lot of stores will actually have a thing where you just have to pay $100 up front. You can pre-order it for just $100 and then pay it off over the course of the next 2 months. Get your pre-orders in as soon as possible, because I guarantee you these things are going to be a very hot commodity, and if you don't want to be like Wave 2 or Shipment 3, you're probably going to need to try and make sure you got your money in your pocket and you're ready day friggin' one. But these are just some off-the-cuff thoughts. Hopefully these leaks are true. Absolutely, if the PS5 is actually $449, it's gonna blow my freaking mind. Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, though. Are you at all nervous about PlayStation 5 shortages, or are you just kind of worrying about buying it next year and that day one purchases are not a big deal to you? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.